And so you really have to pay a huge amount of money to buy a home. And that's exactly why, for most people, again, not forever, but in the short or medium term, renting makes a lot of sense for a lot of people in the Northeast, on the West Coast, in major markets like Atlanta and Dallas.
I'm a multimillionaire and I don't own my house and I don't invest in any property. But why? Isn't a house a great investment? Isn't buying property a great place to put your money? And surely it's better than throwing your money away on rent, right? Well, when you run the numbers, that's actually often wrong.
And what you just saw is the sheer amount of people who are renting right now, and the majority of them are probably not getting rewarded for it. That is where this changes the renting game. This is the Bilt Mastercard. It is the only card on the market right now that lets cardholders earn points on their highest spending category each month, rent. Oh, and did I mention there's a whopping annual fee of $0. So if you're a young professional who's renting right now, you need this card. And in this video, I'm gonna give you 5 reasons why. You can start a free mentorship program with the link in the description below. Make sure you like and subscribe for more career and finance tips, and let's jump in. Reason number 1 why young professionals need this card is that there is no annual fee. That is right, there is no cost to extracting value from the Bilt Mastercard. And when you're a young professional, every penny counts towards savings, right? With this card, you get to enjoy some amazing perks of paying your rent each month without paying an annual fee. So this takes me into my reason number 2 of why young professionals need this card is that you get points for paying what's likely your highest spend category each month, which for most people is rent. Right now, as of July 2024, the average rent in America is $2,136. That is over $2,000 a month. That's more than 2,100 points towards travel or transferring your points to one of Bilt's transfer partners. So let's say you paid $2,000 a month in rent, and if you were to use the Bilt card at 1 cent per point, that would be 24,000 points each year if you were to use the Bilt card every year towards travel or transferring your points to one of Bilt's travel partners, all for having no annual fee. That's a pretty sweet deal. So if you were trying to use a credit card to pay your rent, you would be charged anywhere from 2 to 3% in processing fees, if not more, which is why it is strongly advised against to not use a credit card to pay any kind of rent payment for that reason of having those high fees. So what Bilt has done to mitigate this issue is provide you with your own personal checking account called the Bilt Rewards account. And this account will provide you with an account routing, an account number that you will use to pay your rent. So this was Bilt's design and way of getting rid of what would be credit card fees if you were to pay your rent normally with a credit card. So what you would do is you would go into your rent payment portal and you will insert your given Bilt routing and account number. Now to find your Bilt Rewards account numbers, you will go into the Bilt app. You'll go up to the bottom where it says pay rent, and right there it should have your Bilt account and routing numbers, which is what you will use to pay your rent. And this will make sure that you are not paying any of those fees. Now you may be wondering, what if my rent is actually higher than my credit card limit, and how will this affect my card usage? So what Bilt has done to kind of mitigate a higher rent payment than your credit card limit, which, let's be honest, having a card that's issued by Wells Fargo, that's probably going to be the case, as well as we see that the average rent right now for people is over $2,000 a month. So what Bilt has done to make sure your credit limit is not affected is provide a feature called Bilt Protect. And this Bilt Protect feature protects your credit card limit and makes sure that your rent payment is not affecting your credit card limit or getting posted to your credit card account. So what you will do to use the Bilt Protect feature is where you go to get your Bilt Rewards account numbers is you will toggle on the Bilt Protect feature underneath that. So what this Bilt Protect feature will do is it will actually pull your rent payment from your desired checking account that you will insert there in the app, instead of actually touching your card or your card's limit. So like myself, I use this as well because my rent is higher than my credit card limit. And either way, it would just affect my credit card limit still, because we're all paying high rent, and that's going to be a pretty big amount amount on your credit card every month. So even if you don't have maybe a higher limit, or you just don't want your rent to come from the Bilt Mastercard, you can still use the Bilt Protect feature. Anyone who has the Bilt Mastercard can use the Bilt Protect feature, but it is especially helpful for those of us who have higher rent payment than our credit card limit. So I use this myself every month. I just make sure that this Bilt Protect feature is toggled on, and it allows me to have Bilt pull the rent from my desired checking account every month while still earning points on rent. So Bilt was super forward thinking and thinking about how do we include everyone, even those who may have a smaller credit limit. And the Bilt Protect feature is a great way to still earn points on rent while having Bilt actually draw that rent payment from your desired checking account and not affecting your credit limit at all. If you want to have more finance and career help, I have a free mentorship program you can start. I'll drop the link in the description below. All right, the third reason why young professionals need this card is because Bilt has some of the best transfer partners in the credit card travel rewards marketplace right now. With partners like Flying Blue, Virgin Atlantic, Aer Lingus, British Airways, and Hyatt, just to name a few, Bilt has some of the most valuable points when transferring to any of these partners. At the end of last month, which was June 2024, unfortunately, Bilt eliminated its partnership with American Airlines A Advantage program, which is pretty sad. American Airlines was a partner that I know a lot of people enjoyed using that have this card. So that is no more. If you did not transfer your points, you're kind of SOL at this point, but there's tons of other great transfer partners. Last year for a trip to Phoenix, I actually transferred points to both Hyatt and American Airlines A Advantage program, which provided me with a ton more value than had I paid in cash or tried to book my travel through Bilt's travel portal. Now, Bilt does have a travel portal like every other travel credit card, but you're not going to earn as many points in value if you were to book your points through the travel portal. So Bilt's points in the portal are worth 1.25 cents toward travel when purchasing in the portal. However, if you were to transfer them to any of their transfer partners, they are significantly more valuable at 1.65 cents to 2 cents per point. All of Bilt's points transfer to travel partners at a 1-to-1 ratio, but sometimes on rent day, which is the first of the month when Bilt doubles all of your transactions, they will have different transfer bonuses that are really, really valuable and that card members seem to love. So throughout the year, Bilt is known for providing some of the highest transfer bonuses to transfer points out to travel partners. Back, I think it was in January or February, they had one to Air France, Virgin Atlantic, and IHG, where you could transfer up to 150% of your points toward travel to any of those travel partners. And then, as I said, sometimes on the first of the month, they'll have different promos and deals. So if you have this card, if you're thinking about getting this card, one way to maximize value is to take advantage of the rent day transfer bonuses. Also, another reason to not use the travel portal is that travel portals are notoriously known for being way less helpful if something went awry or happened in your travel plans versus just dealing with the airline or hotel partner directly. So it's always advised that if you have a trip that you actually care about, having to arrive on time or being somewhere important, to always book directly with the travel partner, then book it in the transfer portal. However, if you had like a low stakes trip, you're just, maybe taking a trip on leisure, you have time to kill for whatever reason, then I guess you could go ahead and consider using the travel portal, but it's not advised, especially if you have to be somewhere at a certain time, to not use the travel portal because it's not really helpful in those cases. So if you're wanting to break into the travel rewards game without paying a hefty annual fee for cards like the Chase Sapphire Reserve card or the American Express Platinum card, then the Bilt Travel Card provides you with so much value without annual fee and is really good for young professionals or early career individuals who don't have much money to spend but can really maximize their points when they are paying their rent every month anyway. The fourth reason why young professionals need this card is because of Bilt's resources around home ownership. So Bilt has something called Home Ownership Concierge, where they will provide you a personal concierge if you wanted to use any of your Bilt points for a down payment on a home. Now, this feature is only available to Gold and Platinum Bilt members, but if you are looking to use some Bilt points for a down payment, Bilt will provide you with a personal concierge to help walk you through this process step by step. Now, I personally have not used this resource, but I think it's still really cool that Bilt provides this for individuals who are looking to purchase a home, which a lot of people who rent still would like to purchase a home one day. So Bilt has kind of built this into their program for Gold and Platinum members who might be close to home ownership or are looking to use any of their Bilt points for that. So I think if this is of interest to you or you're looking to purchase a home in the near future in a couple years, you can make your way to gold or platinum Bilt status and tap into any of these home ownership resources, which for a lot of people is still a goal to own a home. And I think it's really cool and valuable that Bilt at least provides some home ownership resources to help us out. The fifth reason why young professionals should have this card is because you do get to earn points on other spending categories outside of rent on things like travel and food. So typically after rent each month, people's second highest spending category is typically food. With the Bilt card, you'll earn 3x points on dining, 2x points on travel, and 1x points on everything else. Now the dining and travel multipliers are comparable to another travel card, which is the Chase Sapphire Preferred card. However, that card does have a $95 annual fee, and the Bilt card doesn't have one. And you don't earn points on rent if you were to pay your rent with the Chase Sapphire Preferred card, which probably would not be a good idea. Also, when you link the Bilt card in the Lyft app and take a Lyft ride, Bilt will automatically give you 5x points on that Lyft purchase. Some other great benefits of this card are primary rental card coverage, cell phone protection up to $800 with a $25 deductible, trip cancellation and protection, and a complimentary shop runner membership. As I mentioned earlier, on the first of the month, Bilt members will get double points on everything. So the first of the month is a great time to go ahead and book travel and earn 4x points, eat at your favorite restaurant and earn 6x points, or to book anything else and earn 1x points. I personally put my gym membership to come out on the first of the month, and it's $44, so I easily get 88 Bilt points every month. Basically, this is a no-brainer card to use on the first of the month. Unfortunately, you cannot double dip with this card. So I know a lot of people have thought about it, and when they were getting the card, they're like, oh, can I get double the points on rent at the first of the month? Unfortunately, you cannot double dip and earn 2x points on rent. That is the only category that will not earn double points on rent day. But I mean, I think this card is still so valuable, being a no annual fee card, having some great travel partners, and the fact that it lets you earn points on rent, which is like all of our highest spending categories for renters, is insane. So to me, it doesn't really matter that I can't double dip and earn 2x points on rent. If you're enjoying this video so far, like and subscribe for more finance and career tips. So a few quick downsides to this card. You can call them downsides or not, but there is no sign up bonus. So Bilt said, hey, we're already giving you points on rent and all these other travel partners and multipliers, so you will not have a sign up bonus. Now I have seen some data points that people that just got the card or approved for the card do get like 30 days of extra points for dining or groceries. I think I saw some that's like 5 days of extra points for groceries. So it just kind of varies and depends, I guess, on what Bilt is feeling. But overall, you would not receive a sign-up bonus for this card. So if you're looking to get to the card, make sure that's not one of the main reasons why you're getting the card, because you cannot really churn and burn with this card. This card is also only for renters at the moment. You cannot earn points on paying a mortgage payment. I know a lot of people had questions about that or hoping that Bilt will eventually break into the mortgage game in terms of earning points. But at this time, it's just available to renters. I have seen some data points that you can earn points like on utility payments and using your Bilt account and routing number to put toward utilities and stuff like that, water, gas, light bill. But I would not try that. Bilt does seem to crack down if they notice that the numbers are being used outside of a rental portal. And in my opinion, it's just not worth getting in trouble with Bilt over. So I would not try that. I would just make sure if you're a renter, you use the Bilt account and routing number strictly for rent. This card also has had some issues with fraud recently. It seems that some people have had issues once they open the card or approve for the card, that they're finding fraud immediately on their account. It does appear that Bilt has handled and addressed most of these issues, but just be aware if you do want to get this card that there is a possibility, just like any other card. But there does seem to be kind of a strange uptick in fraud with the Bilt Mastercard for whatever reason. I have not had any issues, knock on wood, but you never know. But it does seem to be Bilt looking to fix that, and at least they're aware of it and trying to rectify the situation. The last kind of downside of this card, again, I wouldn't really call it a downside, but just to be aware of, is that you do have to use the card for 5 transactions to earn your points. So you cannot just use the card for rent and get rent points, or you cannot just use the card for a membership and rent. You have to use it for 3 other transactions. So I do find it pretty easy though to get to the 5 transactions. Rent does count as one of the transactions, and then I have have my gym membership, and I feel like it's pretty easy just to use the card to go get coffee or to get gas or to have other small purchases on the card, especially if you're using the card on rent day where it's already double anyway. I feel like it should be pretty easy to hit 5 transactions, but just something to keep in mind. If you are someone who likes to use other cards and other multipliers that it might be higher, that you have to use the Bilt Mastercard 5 times a month to get your full points. All right, kind of one final drawback of this card is that it is issued by Wells Fargo. So Bilt is not a bank. They don't issue the card. They just provide the program and rewards and bonuses. It is a Wells Fargo issued card. So if you have fraud, that's typically a Wells Fargo issue. If you are coming up against any other issues with the card or you lose the card, you'll have to reach out to Wells Fargo. So just something to keep in mind. I personally have not had many issues with them. I've reached out to them, I think, once and it was fine. But I do see a lot of talk that people are having issues with them or they just suck, which they do. So it's kind of a bummer, but that's who issues the card, and just something to keep in mind if like you're super anti-Wells Fargo. So in order to get this card, you're going to need a credit score of at least 670. Also, since Wells Fargo is more of a conservative bank, do not expect this card to be your highest credit limit. There's several data points online of people who have 800 plus credit score and $100,000 a year salary or a 6-figure salary and who are getting really small lines of credit with this card. So don't be surprised if you have a small credit limit relative to your other cards. It's not you, it's Wells Fargo. Just know that if you use the card, you're paying it off every month in full on time. You can ask for a credit limit increase, and Wells Fargo does seem to give you an increase or so after 6 months. But something to keep in mind, don't be surprised if you get approved and it's a super small limit. That is something that happens with this card and Wells Fargo in general, I guess, and something to be mindful of, but you can ask for a credit limit increase later on. Still, to me, this card seems to be a no-brainer, especially for young professionals or recent college grads or early career individuals who are renting. And of course, you're going to treat this card like any other credit card, treat it as a debit card, paying it off in full on time every month, not carrying a balance. And actually, I found it interesting that Wells Fargo recently reported that they are not making money from Bilt, that they expected a lot of the revenue from the Bilt Mastercard to come from renters who were carrying a balance from month to month, and that hasn't happened. So they're actually losing money by partnering with Bilt and issuing this card. So it goes to show that renters are smarter than people think and have been paying off their balances in full every month, not making Wells Fargo profitable, which is always the goal, which is amazing. So I truly believe this card is super valuable for all who rent, but especially young professionals or recent college grads who may not have a lot of money going around, but still like to travel here and there and are renting and want to maximize those points. This card to me is an absolute no-brainer, and I think every renter should have it in their wallet, especially on rent day at the first of the month. This card is especially great if you're wanting to slowly break your way into the travel credit card game, but you're not ready for a card like the Capital One Venture X. You don't want to do the whole lounge thing. You definitely are wanting to do the American Express Platinum card. I don't blame you. This card is a great way to kind of dip your toe in the water and maximize points on your highest spending category while still getting access to incredible travel partners that allow you to travel and explore the world, all for insane value. Remember, you can start my free post-grad mentorship program with the link in the description below. If you found this video helpful, please comment your takeaways, like, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.